Okay, so I have a Frigidaire oven. It says getting F-31 error code. That means temperature is not correct in the oven. So yeah, basically for this one is most likely gonna be the igniter. It's not reaching the desired temperature in the amount of time that it's given. So I took this panel out and I took the burner cover, and now you can see the igniter here, and then there's a gas valve down there, and it looks like it's already been replaced. You see these wire nuts, and it does glow, so I know it does get power, so the control board is fine. To replace the igniter for this one, the best way is to get the OEM igniter or find out what amperage this igniter is if you're gonna do a replacement, the universal igniter. So I'm gonna look up the model number here. Here's the model number. I'm gonna punch it into a Sears Parts Direct. I'm gonna find the valve, and I'm gonna look at the picture of the valve and see what amps are saying on the valve. And then I got these two different igniters here. This guy here, replace the General Electric igniter, and then this one here also. They are almost the same, but the amps are a little bit different on these two, so I'm gonna find out which one I need here. So alright, I'm gonna get into on the internet here. So I guess I don't even have to do it. I have a OEM igniter with me. That's the one I need. 530-3935-066, and that's exactly what it was shown in Sears Parts Direct. I looked up the diagram, the igniter that it comes for, and this is the guy that we want, so we don't have to check out the amps here. But in the future videos I'm gonna share the table of different igniters with the different amps, and I know some techs, they just put the igniter in that looks similar, and most of the time it works, but it's better if you put the correct one, and it's safer, so it ignites exactly when it's supposed to be igniting. Yep, this is it. This is the igniter. It looks the same. The only thing is we do want to use oil on these screws. You gotta put a little dab on the threads from the inside, because these screws get locked up. If you don't put oil, they will strip, and you won't be able to get a new one in. You'll spend hours trying to drill it out and get the thing out. So use the zoom spout. Super oil, high-speed shafts and bearings. But anyway, if you don't have that, just use a little bit of soap. It will help too. Okay, if you're replacing the igniter, you always want to unplug the stove. This one is plugged in. Wood floor, don't want to scratch that. So what I do, I unplug it from here, from the connector, before replacing it. You don't want to cut those cables, even though the board is off. So you assume there's no electricity, but if there's some short on a relay, you might open up a gas valve on accident, and then you're going to be scrambling, pull the stove out and get the gas valve shut off. So this way I know I'm not going to engage the gas valve, because it's totally cut off from the supply. So yeah, I'm going to put the new one on and we'll see how it works. Okay, the new igniter is on. Always use the ceramic nuts. Make sure nothing's sticking out. And when I'm turning them, I'm pushing those in and also helping the cables to twist, because sometimes they just scrape out the ceramic on the inside and it starts spinning loose. Also, you want to cut these about the same length of the nut. That's what you want this to be exposed. If you have it longer or shorter, it doesn't really work well. That's how much of the metal you want to have exposed when you're connecting them. these guys, and I tuck it back in there. Make sure they don't get bumped in when you're closing the drawer. I'm gonna test it without the deflector, just so I can see what the igniter is doing. So let's do bake 350. There, click on the relay. I can feel it's getting hot. Starting to, there it goes, starting to glow. It's kind of weird how those holes are located. Oh, here we go. Right on. Yeah, still, igniter is like right, not next to the gas. It's kind of lower, but that's how it's designed. So, okay, it lit up. So most likely it's gonna work just fine. Like, so this is a probe there that senses how hot it gets in there. That's supposed to be about 1095 ohms. You can test it from the back of the oven or from the control board to see how if it's good or not, but usually they are always good. I replaced maybe 1 out of 100 igniters. One probe is the problem. If the control board gives you error right away before even trying to get the flame, then most likely it's the control board is the issue. But yeah, usually it's the igniter. You can get error codes, you might not get error codes, you might get a gas smell, you might get a little poof, you might get like slow preheating, or just gets barely hot and it doesn't heat up. All kinds of different scenarios, but igniters usually last about 7 years if you use it 3 times a week. So alright, I'm gonna turn it off, put everything back together, and call this guy fixed. Thanks for watching the channel, guys.